page of heroes, legends old. In his stories their glories unfold. Baz the Bard with strings of gold. His heart cries out the tales he's told.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Meta Report. It's Skirmish Week 2 and I've been joined by Erika Forslof. How's it going, Erika?
Oh, good. It's winter. It's getting cold. I hate cold, but we're surviving, I guess.
You haven't had the big storm like we have you?
I am not. I saw that one. It looks scary.
Yeah, coming back from Living Realms was very interesting. A lot of trucks come off the road, a lot of cars into fences, and I was very lucky to get back in one place, I should say. So yeah, but we haven't seen you in a while. You've been an intrepid explorer. You went to Osaka. You went for an extended holiday. So we missed sort of like the ProQuest season for Sweden.
Yeah, unfortunately, but what can you do? I had the best vacation of my life over at Japan, so I can't complain, really.
No, I bet it was wonderful. And then you went to Florence and won the Battle Hardened over there with Blaze.
Blaze is a good hero, not gonna lie. But also Blitz, I feel, is in a very good state right now. It's a lot of viable heroes that previously hasn't really been very open. But looking at the meta report from last week, it's very open. And so it's a very fun format right now. Yeah,
it's Zen is back. He did quite well last week. KO did well. Blaze did well. But even sort of like when they released the global results, sort of like it was very good, the amount of heroes that made it onto the winning board. So numbers are down always for Blitz. Sort of like some of the more well-known players take a bit of a rest. Because of this format's not, it might be the prize support. What do you think is basically lacking in Blitz to get sort of like players to join in?
No, I think more betting on Blitz. I mean, it's hard to support multiple formats. They're supporting Living Legends, they're supporting Classic Constructed, and they're supporting sealed formats. So that's where they put their strengths and efforts, I guess. So it's hard to be a development team and put your efforts in all the places at the same time. But I think it's only up from here. And I think Blitz has received the love that it deserves as of late. So there's a lot of new interesting heroes coming into fray. And I think it's going to be fun to see where Blitz goes from here. But at the same time, Classic Constructed and sealed and draft is probably where we're going to see the most efforts moving forward as well in the more competitive scene. But Skirmish is always a fun time to kick back and relax and have some good times with your friends again. So it's always appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see, I mean, the amount of heroes in Blitz is pretty huge at the minute. And it's only going to get bigger now they've made the Living Legend points up to 1,000 to make it in parity with Classic Constructed. So some of the heroes which are strong today are still going to be strong later on when we go into Hunted and sort of like the other sets continuing. So there's no reason why you can't keep playing your favourite hero for a very long time in Blitz format.
Yeah.
Right, so we kick it off. We'll kick it off with Living Legend. We're only covering one, so we'll get Living Legend out of the way. And here we go. So this is Patriot Games, 8 players, like we were saying. The Blitz season, 8's about average, to be fair. Some of the other stores sort of like have done better. What's your feeling on Living Legend at the minute?
Very poorly. I haven't tested the format at all since I was going to miss out on the ProQuest Plus we had here in Stockholm during our Battle Hardened weekend here a couple of weeks ago. I had to do some family due diligence on that Sunday, so I had to pass out on the ProQuest, unfortunately. So I didn't do any Living Legend testing, and I haven't played any Living Legend formats yet either. So I'm very out of touch with the format, but I'm happily sitting on the sidelines and watching other people play.
The good thing is now it's very different from Classic Constructed. People get to play with the books. The book burning happened for Classic Constructed, and it's sort of like, the big toys are out for Living Legend. So it is a lot different from Classic Constructed, but just playing with the heroes that have gone before. It feels a lot different. It's nice to see Chain back, and Dash there gets to play with all the fun bits. High Octane is in. Whether or not they're playing the same build that we saw Sam Sutherland, in one of the rounds for a sucker, that's to be seen. But that is not an easy deck to play. That one. Right. Okay. So let's crack on with the top 4. So top 4, Rob Catton on Chain. phenomenal record. 2 top 8 worlds, top 8s. Brilliant record for Rob. Seb Ball on Viscerai, Liam Holden on Aurora, teammate of Rob Catton, and Tom Wintle on Prism. What do you think of these matchups?
Quite a stack. I mean, Prism is always good with the good old Luminaries, and it's always a big threat in the format, but she can have a hard time pulling up against these aggressive heroes. I haven't seen Aurora in the Living Legend scene yet, but I can imagine that is a tough matchup for her. And likewise for Viscerai, if he has time to get that rune stacks going, and if Shane can get his Duskblade counters going, then it's going to be an interesting matchup as well. I'm probably going to lean on the rune blades here and go with Shane and Aurora, though.
It's when you say Duskblade, what's that one?
Okay.
Banned as soon as it came out, but there we go. Right. Okie dokie. So Rob Catton versus Liam Holden in the final. 2 teammates going at it. Rob certainly worked on sort of like the Aurora deck. We see him pilot that very well into World's top 8. But he's back with Chain. What do you reckon?
A tough call. Both of these players are superior in their craft, so do we still think Shane is as good as old as time?
Thing is, it's sometimes people are out of practice playing against it. It's like, what does he do again? Oh, right, okay.
All right.
There's a reason why he went to Living
Wait,
Legend.
you can play that too? Wait, you can play that too? No way, you can play that too?
He's just got more tricks. That's what he's got. He's got more stuff.
Yeah, the Malefic Incantation is just so good. But I believe Shane can take it.
Shane can take it. Rob Catton. Why would you bet against him? Rob Catton wins with Chain. Well done, Rob. Fantastic win. Well done, Erika. We're over to your neck of the woods. We are going to Sweden, Dragon's Lair. 8 players for Blitz. Nice to see a Shiana. Were you here?
No, Stefan, the boyfriend, was on the Shiana.
Right.
This event.
Okay. So, more specialisations coming. Verdance has been shown today with her specialisation. So she's only going to get crazier. Whether or not she's hit that level yet is yet to be seen. So if you were Blaze, I'm assuming you would be playing Blaze because you've done very well with her in the past. How would you be feeling about going into this?
So the chaos is the big problem. It's hard to raise them, and if they just hit the big numbers, then you just die in 2 turns, and it's rough to keep up with that. And so other than that, it's a good looking lineup. Maybe not the Droma as much, but at the same time, Droma packs a lot of reds in their deck, so they can't really prevent that much in terms of AB. So, I mean, it's a good field overall, but it's the chaos that are creating a havoc here.
When I saw Droma, I was like, oh yeah, you can play her again. Oh my god, that's awesome.
What's my reaction as well? It's like, are you playing Droma? Isn't she? No, she's not.
That's what I did. I looked at the Living Legend and went, oh right, yeah, okay. Yep, jolly good. So on to the final, the top 2. You were saying you would fear the KOs. The KOs got through into the final. Henrik Montin is teamed up with your partner Stefan, mate Fab Counter, together. Yes. And is it Hugie,
yeah. A little Icelandic soprano who has been spending his past couple of months here terrorizing our locals and playing in the Battle Hard. And he did really well in the Battle Hard. He made top 4.
Oh, cool.
So he did a really good show on KO in the Stockholm Battle Hard here a couple of weeks ago. So fun to see him still rocking the KO area as well, not surprisingly.
Nice. I know you know the winner, so would you like to confirm it?
Yeah, it's good old Henrik, who is the reason I got into this game in the first place. So it's a good montage back and good clap back to see him also have a good day. So congrats to him.
Nice. Normally sporting sort of like a Guardian outfit if you see him at events with his for cosplay. So yeah, but this time going for KO. Let's go on to Mind Stage. Again, average numbers. But Arachne's come out to play here. Did your partner go all the way to Gothenburg to play? Because there's Shiana here as well.
We did not. The Shiana is another one. And so it's still fun to see that Shiana is rocking up on the both sides of the coast. But
She won an event on the global standings, so she's doing something right. Emperor turns up and a Vinset turns up. So let's go over to the top 4. The only information I've got is Stefan Pearson. He's won an RTN and a Skirmish before. I think it's great that we're seeing names that we don't normally see. This is where Blitz, sort of like you're either saying people are either Blitz specialists or they're new to the game and potentially they're a name to look forward to, for the future.
It's always exciting to see more players joining, but also most of the skirmishes that we have around here has been seen very low attendance in December. Most events in December sees very low attendance, probably due to Christmas breaks, and people are rightly so prioritizing their Christmas holiday and all of the other holiday spirits that is going on in December. So I think that's a good cause that we are seeing lower numbers, but it is what it is.
Yeah, indeed. Let's get through to the final. Okay. Verdance versus Victor. I suppose Verdance quite likes a longer game because Victor's like he's got big numbers, but she's just waiting to compose or decompose, I should say, and get everything online. I know you know the winner of this because you give me all the information, but how do you feel this matchup goes anyway?
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to be on the Victor side of things. Arcane is really, really hard to deal with overall as a Victor player, and I got to look at Shaheen's list after he confirmed that he won the event, so spoilers. And it's a very Arcane-heavy list that he's packing, so it's a very interesting take on Verdance going very Wizard-heavy in this meta where a lot of heroes doesn't have a lot of health, so you need to really keep up with them to not die of the arcane before you can hit them back. So very interesting build, very fun to see.
All right, nice. So let's confirm it. There we go. Shaheen, he's won. Well done. Congratulations. Okay, so let's see the meta map just to confirm that. We've got Henrik up there in Stockholm on Shaheen, down there in Landala, Gothenburg.
Ish.
It's really confusing for me because I see the big town and I'm just like, okay, that's where it is.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, it's not being from the same country. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult, to know the area very well. But let's go over to Ireland. Okay, the Irish had a double header. This is the only 2 events that they've got for the whole of Skirmish season. I think they had 3 last time. Normally get about 3, only 2 this time. 3 Blaze, 11 players. So better than average. So well done, guys and girls. A Data Doll turns up to play and an Acilio. So
I love the Acilio.
So it's nice to see.
I was tempted to go into that.
Okay. If you were playing Acilio.
Acilio has game.
Okay. Is there any matchup that you would, out of these, if you were playing Acilio, that you would go, I'm a little bit nervous about this one. Please, Gem, do not pair me into them.
A Data Doll is always a scary matchup. They can just sprout out so much damage in 2 turns if they draw the things that they need on top of their deck on their boost turns, and also not having the items in their hand. Hopefully they have the boost attacks in their hand, but if all of those things clicks, Data Doll can be such a mean machine, and as Acilio starting with 18 life, it's a rough day. So not gonna love to see that. Also Dorinthia can become very, very scary, especially when you have poor blocks, which Acilio does, because he plays a lot of instants, so he doesn't block very well. So playing against a hero that can utilize a lot of offensive power and gain a lot of value when your opponent is unable to block, Dorinthia is really good. So probably those 2 of all of these up here.
Right, nice. Shall we see who made it into the top 4? We've got Jack Canty on Terra, Carl Boyle on Prism, he's won an RTN before, Ian Holland on Aurora, he's got an RTN, 2 ProQuests and 2 Skirmishes, and I really don't know how to say this Irish name, so we will just say Padraig on Victor. He's getting around. This week we see Victor quite a lot. He does quite well for himself, sort of like making it into the top 4s.
Yeah, it's very good matchup spread that he usually has against the aggro decks, not so much against the wizards, but if he faces a lot of aggro decks, he can have a lot of things to say about it. Winning those clashes fairly easily gives him a lot of equity, so it's fair to say that he has some things to say about it.
Nice. Okay. Let's see who made it into the final. Okay, so we've got Carl Boyle versus Ian Holland, Prism versus Aurora, old school, OG Prism. How do you feel this is going to go down?
Also still legal in this format.
It's brilliant.
Always love to see it. Because there's always that double take. Is that really the old prison, not the new one? No, okay. Yeah, still Leo. Okay, cool. Amazing. Again, I think the aggro heroes was typically praised on Prism, so I would lean to Ian to maybe take this one.
Okie. I don't know what happened, but Carl
No.
pulled it out. Well done, Carl.
Interesting.
Fantastic. Yeah,
Amazing.
fantastic win for Carl there. Let's go to the gathering in Limerick. So that's the other side of Ireland. To Aurora, to Victor. The Dory comes up again. So familiar faces.
And the Terra.
Indeed. There was no top four, so to speak. So we've just got the two final players. And this is Jack Walsh on Victor versus Dave Russell on Aurora. Like I said, Victor is pulling it out at the minute.
Yeah, and I think Victor probably has an edge in here. As I mentioned, the clashes are really good, especially against heroes that doesn't win a lot of clashes or pack a lot of those 6+ attacks that Victor typically carries. So if all the clashes go your way, then you typically are a little bit favored into those aggro matchups. So I would lean on Victor here to maybe bring it home.
Let's see. Victor did bring it home. Well done, Jack.
Yay.
Apparently his Trounces did very well in this match. Or so they said on Discord anyway. So, yeah, well done.
All right.
Yeah. It's just like,
Awesome.
it's when you play him and you're like, oh, I've got one. Do I get the next one? And you just, you're either really happy or you groan. You're like, oh my God. Let's see the meta map. There we go. Carl Boyle with Prism over in Dublin and Jack Walsh in Victor over in Limerick. So well done to you both. Over to the very south coast of the UK. This happened on the Monday of last week. So as we were recording last week's one, this was actually going ahead. It's nice to see Kasai come out to play. We haven't seen her in a while. It's sort of like she's not a favoured hero in Classic Constructed, but you know, someone's brave enough to take her, you know, back in Blitz, where she did very well before with her previous incantation.
Yeah, we often see players, especially in the slow sense of seasons, also in Skirmish, is very like casual environment that you just lean back and crack a little bit with your old and gold heroes that you typically like to play. So I welcome all of the sorts, and it's always interesting to see how they do into the format. Sometimes some of these can surprise you, like Shiana, for example. Didn't think she would be that good, but with the new Betsy specializations and with the new Verda specializations and with the new Florian specializations, she's actually quite good. So always good to see how various heroes do in the Blitz format. As I mentioned, it's always good to see how the Blitz format is shaping up and that it's very, very wide in terms of what heroes are viable right now.
Yeah. Okay. So the top four, this is not in any particular order because they didn't have a top cut. So Nathan Eastwood on Blaze, Gwen Woods on Vincent, Adam James on Lexi, and Sean Looney on Zen. If you were going into the top four with, you know, and you were playing Blaze, would you be quite happy seeing any of these?
Yeah, depends on Sen. Sen can be quite scary. If he finds like early transcend, like turn 1, turn 0, anything of the like, it's a quite scary matchup. The only thing you got going for you is that he can't turn on his hat because you're not presenting attacks, or if you are playing a Blaze that runs attacks, then you probably don't run it to give Sen the edge. So you probably just pack that arcane and be happy about it. So I would be fairly fun to see or happy to play into this top four. For sure.
How do you feel Blaze into Lexi? Because you know you're going against Frostbite. So are you trying to ping your damage prior to the Frostbite coming into effect?
That's the thing, right? So you can respond with the Frostbite creations on the stack, and you can just do your shenanigans and just don't care about the Frostbite and just pass on your turn and not do anything. So you can be very aggressive with Blaze and play to your outs on your opponent's turn. And like, I don't have to play on my turn. If I have the Blaze counters, then I can just go for it on your turn and punish you accordingly.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's see who made it into the top two. So this was the Vincent versus Zen. How do you feel about this?
Ooh, interesting. Vincent can be really disruptive, but at the same time, Sen can go so fast. It's a tough one. But I think Sen might have an edge in terms of the aggro race here.
Okay, let's confirm. It was Gwen.
Ooh,
Gwen on Vincent.
there you go.
Well done, Gwen. Well done indeed. Fantastic win. Getting Vincent on the board. She's got new tricks, that's for sure, with the set from Rosetta. We've seen her popularity increase. So, yeah, there we go. Vincent. So, Lion's Heart Bookshop. This was on the Friday. Blaze is popping up a lot. Blaze into this one. 8 players. Excuse me.
But she's not converting. That's the interesting part.
No, not really. But yeah, but you've got to be in it, haven't you? You know, sometimes, you know, I mean, Blitz is such a fast format. Do you
exactly?
Yeah, I mean, you have to make an impact on turn 1 or turn 0, and if you don't do that, you know, you're already on the back foot. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You know, some people don't like it because of that. But you know, people like the fast formats. Indeed. Okay, so these are the top 4 players. Okay, so no top cut. Okay, Ed Cardle on Aurora. So Ed is one of the lead designers for Buy the Same Tokens. So if you're part of my Patreon, you get 10% off Flesh and Blood tokens from those guys. And Ed's making it into more and more finals and top cuts, sort of like over the last period. Javier Kenyon Riero on Blaze, Matthew Kenworthy on Data Doll. He's won a skirmish before, and Rob Howe on Dorinthia, the OG Dorinthia, not the Quicksilver prodigy.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's nice to see Dory come back. So looking forward to Warrior making an impact again with the next set. But let's get on to the finals. Or the finalists. So Aurora versus Data Doll. Ed Cardle versus Matthew Kenworthy.
Shall we see another Data Doll? Not another one. Can we see the first Data Doll making a final?
Indeed. 2 very aggressive ones. You've said before, if she gets a load of items in her hand, she doesn't block well. But if she can get the items off the stack, a very scary prospect. But only
she's gonna get some good disruptions for sure. Yeah, I think Data Doll should be favored, but Aurora can also go super fast. But I want to lean on Data Doll for this one.
Data Doll. Let's have a look. You're right. Matthew Kenworthy on Data Doll. Well done. Won the last skirmish at Lion's Heart Bookshop. He's making it his domain. He's the man to beat for skirmish down there. So well done, Matt.
Skirmish master.
Well, some people are skirmish specialists, but Matthew's been putting in a lot of work, and his classic constructed game's doing really well. He had a really good ProQuest season, so he's definitely a player sort of like on the rise within the UK scene.
Interesting. Awesome.
Bad Moon Cafe we're over to next. So in London, 13 players, so a good representation down there for the London crowd. So well done, everyone. You've got one more coming next week for Spellbound. Zen is the top hero to be taken here, but a good spread nonetheless. 2 Dories.
I was going to say the same.
Yeah, 2 Dories, one of each flavour.
Yes.
So how would you feel with Blaze if you were going into this?
I would feel decent. Prism, any illusionist is just pain to deal with because you can't attack the auras, and the only way to deal with the auras is your scour. If you don't draw your scours, you're going to be a sad place. So any illusionist is pretty rough. Droma, I haven't even tried. So, but again, she plays a lot of reds. It's not in a favor a lot. So you can pack a punch there. But I really love to see the spread of the heroes. Again, Blitz is wide open at this day and age, and so any hero is quite viable, all the way from the Arachnes to the Dorinthias to the Victors to the Verdants to the Dromais to the Prisms to the everything. Levaya is fun to see as well, making a crack in this format as well.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see who made it into the top 4. So they had a top cut. Konrad Bazuski on Quicksilver Prodigy. He's won a ProQuest before, and he won the ProQuest at Bad Moon the last one, ProQuest 6. Edward Bayford. I haven't got any information on him, and he's with Levaya. Zach Murray on Victor again, and Samuel Thomas with Aurora, and he's won 2 skirmishes previous to this one. So these are the matchups as well. So, you know, how do you feel about these matchups? Which heroes do you think made it into the final?
Oh, I would love to see Levaya making it. It's not a super underdog, but it's like one of those dark horses, I would say, still in this day and age. And Victor is always great. And again, has a lot of beef into the aggro heroes generally. So Victor and Levi probably.
Victor and Levi. Okie dokie. So one out of
Close.
2 ain't bad.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling, Victor versus Dory Quicksilver Prodigy?
Depends how many D-reacts you're packing as Victor in this format. I mean, the situation with the Blitz is that you have so few sideboard slots, and it's really awkward to play and understand and what you should prioritize in terms of your sideboard slots into this meta. So you might cut back on your D-reacts to favor more pummels or more aggressive tools and more AB or whatever it might be that you think you're going to face. So it can be a bit tricky. But playing against a Guardian as a warrior is probably one of your toughest matchups because they have so much fridge and there's so much things you need to get through. And can be tough. And so I think it's probably Victor favored, but also depends on what you're packing.
Okay, so who are you going for then?
Oh, Victor. We have to go for the Guardians. All the time.
It was Victor.
Yeah,
well done. Well done, Zach. Fantastic. So Sweden used to be very Guardian-centric. You know, when we first started covering Sweden, it was sort of like, it was Guardian, just like, if you ain't playing Guardian, you ain't winning. And we saw your map just filled with the different Guardians. So, but you sort of like, it went through a period where you, you know, I'm going to say abandoned Guardian. Is that still the case, or are people sort of like going back?
A little bit. MST heroes mainly is the biggest problem right now because all of those 3 in conjunction are a really, really bad matchup for any Guardian hero. Period. Zen is really hard to deal with. He packs a lot of punch. Enigma is super hard to deal with. He puts up a lot of auras. You can't control them. You can't deal with them. Nuyus likes to play your blues and smack you back in the face for free, and it's really annoying. So all of the MST heroes plays really, really poorly into any Guardian. Full stop. And so, yeah, we'll see if Guardians can rise again with this new set. Maybe we'll see.
We shall indeed. We're going up north to Stockton-on-Tees. Beanie Games, 8 players. So average again, sort of like 1 of each, which is nice to see. And a Yogi comes out to play.
Hey!
Another Guardian.
Another one.
Is it
the fatigue Yogi is always interesting to play against.
I think it's just really weird. I always see Yogi and just look at his ability and going, well, he's a UPF hero, right? Why would you take him? Why would you take him in
Blitz? He has 21 life.
Yeah, but Valda's got extra life as well. It's just like, okay, fair enough. Righty, let's get into the final. Look, Victor, Benjamin Marshall versus David Baker on Blaze. God. How you feeling on this? Now he's going to have plenty of blues.
I'd be surprised if Blaze doesn't take this one. It's a really, really hard matchup for Victor. He can just get so punished when he tries to deal with the Arcane on Blaze's turn, and then he goes down to no cards left on his turn, and he tries to present damage, and Blaze just punish it straight through and through. So, probably Blaze is on this one.
Okay. I don't know what Victor did, but
oh God,
it's Victor Day.
Good job.
So
tell me the secret.
I think David Baker needs to call you to get the secret for Blaze onto that game. So yeah, well done, Benjamin. We're staying up north. We're going to Middlesbrough. Here we go. So Katsu's come out to play this time. We've got a Phi, we've got a KO Runt Berserker, and we've got a Tekla Vossen.
Wow, amazing. See. Blitz is wide. It's wide open. Anyone can take this one. I would love to see KO Berserker into the top 4.
I think most people would. He's just got so much RNG though. It's just like, come on. It's either going to be feast or famine. Am I going to get a 20 power, 10 foot tall and bulletproof off to take it? Or am I just going to basically just attack for 5 and then be left with 2 cards? It's like, oh.
You never know. You never know.
But you know, you're going to have the biggest smile on your face if you pull it off, that's for sure. But let's go into the top 4. They're the top cut. So, Data Toll.
Close enough.
Anya North on Data Toll. Adam Collins on KO. He's got a Calling Liverpool Commoner win under his belt and an RTN. Paul Goodchild on Blaze, and he's got a Skirmish under his belt. And Adam Harbinson on Terror. He does like his Guardians. He was playing Victor before. I think he switched to New at one point. And obviously obviously has gone back to Guardians for this Blitz format. What do you think of these matches?
Interesting. I mean, if it plays against Terra again, Guardian is a really easy matchup for Wizard in general, so I'm leaning on Blaze there. KO versus Data Doll is a tough one because they both like to go really, really fast, and if things just click for any of these heroes, you're just dead on turn 2 most of the cases. So could be anyone's game at this point. So 50-50. Let's go for Data Doll and Blaze.
Okay, Data Doll and Blaze. Okay.
Close enough.
Thing is, they're both packing 0 blocks, aren't they? And you're saying it could go either way. But how are you feeling KO versus Blaze?
My personal opinion is that KO is the toughest matchup that you probably have because he can just go so fast and he can kill you in 2 turns. And you have 18 life and it's really rough. Or 17 life. So I don't know. It's probably a tough one for Blaze here, and KO is probably favored in most of this.
Okay, so let's see. It's right. Adam takes it. Well done, Adam. Yeah, I think Paul probably had a rough time, like you were saying. Probably not the match you wanted to see, but you know that's the way it is. Well done, Adam. Adam is he pretty much rules Rising Phoenix. I always see his name at Rising Phoenix. He does quite well in York as well when he comes down south. So sort of like he's got his sister there as well, and they're a bit of a power team family, taking it up north. Let's go to Living Realms now in Castleford. So I went there. I did record this. So there are 3 rounds coming. More Lexis than anything else. I haven't really seen a lot of Lexi. But yeah, so it's nice to see.
Love to see Florian as well. 5. Don't see a lot of those.
Yeah. Let's get into the top 4 players. This is not in no particular order. Okay. So James Thorgood on Data Doll. He's got a Pro Quest under his belt. Okay. And he did want me to say that when his head-to-head record against Rob Catton is 28-3. Okay, in his favour. So he's got a good winning record against Rob, but Rob wins when it counts, really. So you got Rob Catton on Lexi, 2 world top 8s, a calling Liverpool battle hardened under his belt, where he showed off Prism, the new Prism's ability, which you were in the top 8 as well.
I remember that.
Yeah, the crowd went wild when he made that. 6 skirmishes under his belt, 3 pro quests. Lila Catton, his wife, used to be Lila Green. So they are sort of like UK's power couple.
Yes.
Lila's got a Skirmish and an RTN under her belt. So well done to that. And Ollie Wing on Florian. And he grades the cards at PCG. So if you're part of my Patreon, you get a nice little sort of like gift code every 3 months for the amount you put into my Patreon. And Ollie will grade your cards for you. So this is not in any particular order. This was just the top 4. Okay, so let's get to the final. Okay, so the UK power couple faced off Lexi versus Aurora.
Yeah, I'd love to bet on Aurora because I think Aurora is dope, but Rob Catton has a lot of clout under his belt, so to say. God, I would love to be on this bystander watching this game.
Well,
play out.
By the end of the week, I should have the final out, so you can watch it.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for more content.
Yeah, indeed.
What can we bet on? Is it Rob that takes the cake here with its frostbites and just making life difficult?
Okie dokie, you're going for Rob.
Yeah.
He didn't take it. So
let's go.
Yeah, Lila took this one down. Well done. It is a cracker of a game. It's really, really good.
Looking forward to that one.
It's really weird. Sort of like Lila came on round 1, and then I picked Rob round 2. So you get to see their decks prior to sort of like the final, where they square off. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good one. So let's go on to a sealed one. Church of the D20 in Loughborough, 11 players. This is a sealed event. This was the last sealed event of our sort of like skirmish season for the UK. Mm-hmm. No surprise, a lot of people are plumping for sort of like Florian. The Earth Heroes seem to be sort of like the heroes of choice, whether that be sort of like, because Decompose is quite a powerful one, or it could be pack distribution. You don't really see a lot of the powerful lightning cards. Yeah, it's just, there's going to be a favourite in every sealed format, isn't there? I think this one, is better than ones that we've had in the past.
It's a bit unfortunate. I think you need a really strong incentive to play any of the lightning heroes. You need the power cards, you need the melt cards, you need some powerful majestic of some sort in order to power through. Because trying to beat any of the earth heroes takes quite a lot in the sealed format, because they have so many quality cards generally. So, and also they have great gear and it blocks a lot. And if they get the decompose, it blocks even more. So they have a lot going for them in terms of that. And so, yeah, the earth heroes are just normally favored in the sealed format. It's a different beast in draft though, and I'm happy to lean on that. But in sealed, Florian is pretty favored.
Yeah, indeed. So let's see what players made it into the top 4. No surprise, Florian's got in there. Jack Thayer on Florian, Gabriel Leeming on Florian, and James Clark. James Clark won an RTN before, made it into the final of ProQuest London at Dice Cup, Nottingham, which I recorded. You can see that. And then Brandon Barefoot on Verdant. So an all-earth top 4. Okay. So there was no top cut. So let's get into this one. Florian versus Florian, Gabriel versus James. It could go either way, can't it? It's just like, okay, who do you want to go for?
So the thing with the Florian mirror is typically the one who carries the most auras typically has a little bit of an edge. If any one of these carries any one of the powerful majestics like Felling of the Crown or Summer's Fall or any of the Plow Wonders and the like, it's a bit tougher from the opponent's part. Also, if you carry the rune or rune chant generators and a mass, you can also go a more aggro heavy Viserai-esque type of build, and those can be really, really powerful. So it all depends on how much beef you got in your deck and how much that plays in your favor.
Okay. Got to pick one. Who are you going for?
50-50.
Indeed, yeah. Toss a coin.
Let's go with James.
James. It was Gabriel. No! Gabriel, I don't know. So well done. Well done nonetheless. A new face, sort of like for the UK scene. So and a skirmish win under your belt. Time for the meta maps. We have Thistle Tavern, Bruno Fernandes with Verdance. That was another sealed event, and Verdance took it there in a Verdance mirror. So that would have been a 50-50. Lots in the north. 2 Auroras win, the KO and the Victor. So we've got Liam Holden with Aurora, Lila Green with Aurora, Benjamin Marshall that we saw earlier with Victor, and Adam Collins on KO. So well done. Over into the Midlands, we shall say. Always quite sparse now for sort of like events, which is a little bit strange. Most events happen either up north or down south, and the Midlands is kind of like, okay, did we get one or didn't we? KO won, Jonathan Hicks there, and Vincent that we saw earlier with Jack Nichols. Gabriel with Florian. So that's the Midlands. Then we go down south. So I said there was a few more. We've got Living Legend, Viserai, James Adams, we saw last week. Carl Mullins was last week on Aurora. Ed Kennan with Blaze. Gwen Woods that we saw with Vincent. Matthew Kenworthy with Data Dull. Well done, everybody. And then to London. One more London one to go. But we have Alexander Teague on Zen and Zach Murray with Victor. So Victor and Aurora are pretty much picking up the spoils in the UK for Blitz events. So they're doing very well indeed.
Interesting.
If you wish to take part in the last week of Skirmish, these are the places that you can go. If you wish to do Living Legend format, you go to Geek Retreat Sunderland and Spellbound Games in London. I would think that Spellbound would have quite a good turnout, and you will be able to view that on Twitch on the Saturday. So go to their channel on Twitch and you can view that. If Blitz is more your jam, Fanboy 3 in Manchester, and obviously Cool Card if you want to go all the way to Sweden. How far's Karlstad from you?
2.5 hour train ride.
Okay.
Is
that doable for you? Are you planning on going there?
I had a small plan of going there, but I have some Christmas stuff I need to take care of, so I take the time to do that instead.
Okay, fair enough. And on the very last day in December, for the 15th for the Skirmish, is Toys and Games in Worcester or Mox in the Hole in Edinburgh for Living Legend there. So take your pick. Pick your poison and go and smash it and come back with a cold foil. Is it Terror, isn't it? Cold foil Terror.
Yes, Terror.
It'd be very nice.
Terrorizing.
For the new year. Ooh, Road to Nationals is filling up with lots and lots of events. I can hardly fit them on the page. So there is a Beachhead Expo in Bournemouth, which kicks things off on the 8th of February. That's got a ProQuest Plus. So if you didn't win a PTI to get to ProQuest London, that is the place that you're going to get to. But it is behind a convention ticket. So you'll need to buy a ticket for the convention and then you'll buy your event as well. But sort of like you can have the sort of like the RTN is actually taking place on the Sunday, so you get the ProQuest and then you get the RTN, so it might be a worth a place if you want to do a double header. That would be quite a nice place to go. Okay, I will be covering a few. Hopefully I will be at Living Realms on the 15th of February recording, and then I will be straight back on home turf on the Sunday and recording there. So there'll be lots of games. Whether or not I can get to Dice Cup the week before to record there, because I do like recording in Dice Cup. It's a fantastic store, and Jonathan is really, really great there. So that's hopefully where I'm going. Which ones are you going to, or have you planned to go to?
We have the double Saturday, Sunday Alpha Spel in Stockholm and Dragon's Lair on the Sunday in Stockholm. So we have a both Classic Constructed and Draft packed weekend here in the end of February. So really looking forward to that.
Nice. Okay, brilliant. So if you want to meet Erika, take a trip to Sweden and go to do a weekend in Stockholm. That'll be a good one. Okay, so cheers, Erika. Thank you very much. It's been absolutely lovely getting you back on after your extended holiday and your travels abroad. It's nice that you
happy to be here.
Yeah, it's nice that you accepted the invitation. So thank you for all the results that you got us for Sweden. And we see Henrik and Shahin win. Shahin, yeah. Shahin. Ireland, Arcanite Spike, and Dave the IPC for all the results from you guys. For the UK, Nathan Eastwood, Sir Meow Meow, Tom Whittle, Sir Meow Meow, Liam Hartles, Paul Goodchild, James Armstrong, Gabrielle Leeming, and Electrum. Thank you so much. It doesn't happen without you all taking part and giving me the information. It's fantastic. May it continue. And for my patrons, thank you so much. If you want to become a patron, you get 10% off by the same tokens for Flesh and Blood tokens. Thistle Tavern, you can get 10% off Flesh and Blood cards for singles if you're missing sort of like singles from the previous sets, or sort of like for the Hunted coming out. Well worth checking out Thistle Tavern to get your singles to fill out your collection. PCG, as I've alluded to, for every 3 months, the money that you've supplied to the Patreon comes back to you as a gift code. So most people are on the £5 pledge, so you get a £15 gift code every quarter. So if you like having your cards graded, it's well worth taking part. Essentially gets you 1 card graded for free every quarter. All right. Erika, is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
I'm excited to head first into the spoiler season that is kicking off in this December and also carrying out in the next year, and then get excited for the Haunted world premiere that's gonna go down in Prague in January. Yeah, very excited about that.
Was it Countdown to Chaos starts next week, isn't it? The 17th.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's always something to look forward to. It's just like, oh my god, we're just finishing Skirmish, and then we're into Chaos. So until next week, thank you so much for watching. Take care and hunt down the cold foil terrors, and may you win them. All right, toodaloo.